Good news, ladies and gentlemen. The war that has lasted just as long as I've been alive and on this planet has officially come to a close. Bad news is, the withdrawal from that war has been completely botched, and as a result, the Taliban have essentially taken over the entire country, undoing every process we've made and further destabilizing the Middle East.
The Taliban are sweeping across Afghanistan, taking control of at least 30 of its 34 provinces over the last 10 days and their provincial capitals, including Afghanistan's second and third largest cities. Now, they're in Kabul.
For 24 hours, Kabul's Hamid Karzai International Airport was overrun by thousands of people desperate to flee.
Afghans are thronging to Kabul's airport, desperate to get on planes and leave the country at any cost.
So we obviously know what the big story is right now. In fact, this is one of the biggest stories of the week so far. So in this video, we're going to be addressing that obvious elephant in the room, and that is that Afghanistan has fallen. And the Taliban has officially taken control, full control of the entire country yet again, right after we officially withdraw from the country, and now there are fears that the Middle East might destabilize even further than it has over the past couple of decades. So y'all might be wondering, what happened? Well, here's what essentially happened and why this actually happened. There was originally a plan to withdraw all troops from Afghanistan 6 months ago. Donald Trump had already set a withdrawal date of Saturday, May 1st, 2021, an official withdrawal date to bring all troops home and to mark the official end of America's longest war. When Joe Biden came along, he then decides to push back the withdrawal date and mark the official end of the war on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. The problem, there had already been an agreement made to withdraw on that day, and because that had not happened yet, and it was prolonged for an extra 6 months, even as we were starting to pull back more and more troops from there, a combination of two things happened. Some weapons and unused artillery was just left there for the Taliban to use with their own volition. And because the US is going back with their own agreement, some tribal groups and tribal warlords started to become disillusioned with Uncle Sam, allowing for the Taliban to easily recruit these people and allow these groups to join forces or be part of the Taliban. The extra 6 months gave the Taliban ample time to grow and recruit, and this caused a little bit of a chain reaction to happen. The Taliban recruits certain tribal groups to join them, and they were able to get all this tactical gear from the US that was just left abandoned. And as a result, the Taliban was able to siege the capital of Afghanistan and take hold of the entire country. Now, unfortunately, this was a completely botched, fucked up withdrawal, and a completely fucked up response. Arguably one of the biggest black eyes of the United States, up there with Vietnam. And now you've seen pictures on Twitter comparing what you see in Kabul, which is the capital of Afghanistan, being compared to Saigon in South Vietnam, which is now known as Ho Chi Minh City. And you see these comparisons. You see a lot of these people have made comparisons of Kabul to Saigon with the pictures of like the helicopters above the US Embassy and shit like that. And it's very similar. Arguably the same as what happened in 1975. And you literally have this idiot Secretary of State of ours, Anthony Blinken, lying about the situation, claiming, oh, this is not going to be another Saigon. Trust me, this is totally not another Saigon. We did everything that we possibly could, and we've essentially have succeeded. No, you didn't. And the response to this was absolutely abysmal. And I can see why a ton of former Afghan veterans are all pissed off at the Biden admin at the moment. So you have Joe Biden and his administration come out and make this official statement and say, yeah, we are withdrawing troops, but you know what? It ain't my responsibility. So you know what? We're going to hold the Afghan army accountable for not being, well armed enough. We did what we could and we withdrew the troops. Hooray, folks! We have ended America's longest war. Mission accomplished, people. Mission accomplished. And despite the fact that I do agree with Biden that we do need to withdraw the troops, he basically lied about the entire situation and shift the blame from himself to Trump, to the Afghan government, Afghan army, and other people, rather than the figurehead, the commander-in-chief that he is. Now, Joe Biden claims in his speech that the reason the fall of Afghanistan happened so quickly is because the Afghan government and Afghan army were not prepared enough. That is a lie. The only reason why the Taliban were able to become more powerful is because they recruited a bunch of these tribal groups that we had agreed with regarding the withdrawal date Trump put in place. These same groups felt like they were abandoned. Some people felt like they were abandoned and lied to by Uncle Sam because we pushed the date back. In these tribal warlords and other people's minds, this insinuated that Uncle Sam is not leaving anytime soon, creating a chain reaction downward spiral situation where the Taliban were able to recruit these people, these tribal groups, and the tribal warlords, allowing them to grow in size. And because we also abandoned weapons there, the Taliban were able to take hold of those weapons, combined with their growth and recruitment. Add all these factors together, they were able to seize the capital city of Kabul in its entirety, and that's how the country fell, and that's also why it fell a lot quicker than anticipated. Now here's what's gonna happen. Considering that this is the Middle East, obviously, it's gonna be just like Iraq. The war is going to officially end, troops are gonna be withdrawn, but that's not to say that our involvement in the Middle East will end. I mean, we're still conducting drone strikes on Iran, Iraq, and Syria for no reason in particular, despite the fact that there are no troops there anymore. There are still US contractors and US-backed NATO and UN troops in the Middle East to this day. Who's to say the same thing is going to happen in Afghanistan as well? This is the Middle East we're talking about. This is a region that we spent goddamn decades in for no reason in particular, not achieving any of our goals. That's why I'm taking this whole withdraw the troops thing with a grain of salt. We have until between the end of the month and the 20th anniversary of 9/11 to see what really happens. Chances are, considering that Biden has had a past of being a pro-war politician, he's the one that voted for the Iraq War, by the way, he could just, pull a 180 about pulling the troops. Or some of his key advisors will tell him that withdrawing is a bad idea and he'll send troops there anyway. Who goddamn even knows what will happen? Now, unfortunately, the damage has already been done. The Taliban now controls Afghanistan. The Afghan government is now in exile in, I believe, like Oman or Yemen or Kuwait, in one of those countries, if I remember correctly. You see videos of people in the airport of Kabul literally running after airplanes, clinging onto the wings of C-17s and holding on for dear life, and all sorts of these crazy videos, and you honestly feel absolutely shook when you see this actually happening. All because of a fundamentalist Islamic group was able to take hold of a country yet again after being completely destroyed, all thanks to one stupid mishap from one inept commander-in-chief. We could have just went with that earlier withdrawal date and been able to leave the country that we should have no involvement with whatsoever, non-violently and peacefully, had we went with that actual withdrawal date. Unfortunately, we didn't. Our commander-in-chief decided to push back the date, have the troops fight there for a little bit longer, neglect the people of Afghanistan, and allow the unused weapons to be taken by the Taliban. Now look what's happened. Now here's the question. Should Biden have the responsibility for this absolute failure of a withdrawal? Oh, absolutely. His fault to begin with. There's just a long list of mistakes he made, and this whole situation could have been totally avoided. He pushed back the withdrawal date, ignored unused weapons, and allowed them to be taken over by the Taliban, and they became super powerful as they were busy recruiting tribal groups in that 6-month period of time. Well, less than that. And that's how they were able to take over Kabul in that quick period of time. Now you got all these crazy war hawks that are just pissed off at him about withdrawing, arguing that we should be in there again. So we got a bunch of salty neocons raising a fuss about withdrawing from the war, using the Taliban takeover as an excuse. You got a bunch of anti-war people pissed off because the withdrawal was completely mismanaged and bungled, and you got the legacy media and the MSM even ridiculing you for your handling and mishandling of the withdrawal. At some point, impeach Biden, President Harris, 25th Amendment, Orange Man bad, funnily enough, and everything else negative towards Biden were all trending on Twitter. So congratulations, Mr. President. You've essentially got the whole entire fucking country, additionally the whole world even, to turn on you. All thanks to this. So thanks a lot, Biden. Absolutely destabilizing the Middle East even further, possibly justifying more action to be done there by the warhawk neocons like Dan Crenshaw, since they now got an excuse to continue on with the warmongering. I don't want any more war, or any more destabilization to happen in the Middle East anymore. We should not be involved in this region anymore. It's no use. Taliban takeover of Kabul and the entire country of Afghanistan, and our involvement there in the first place, is just another black eye for the United States. This is literally another Saigon. Anyway, as always, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button down below, and if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the little notification bell. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias, links are in the description below, and follow me on UTech as always. Again, I will be more active there in the future momentarily, because you may never know when I disappear from the internet thanks to big tech. So it's always a great idea to be safe than sorry, so make sure to follow me on alt tech. But as always, like, subscribe, ring the notifications, and until then, take care, talk soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.